What's up, everybody? Welcome into another new episode of the Rapala Collegiate Bass Podcast. We're gearing up for our first event for the historic 20th season of the Association of Collegiate Anglers. It's going to be the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley, taking place at Kentucky Lake this upcoming weekend. Today we're being joined by anglers from top 25 ranked Murray State University. Those team members are Archer Smith, Adrian Urso, and Braiden Koerber. Archer, we'll bring you in here first, man. Just real quick, how's the lake setting up? As we get ready to head up there, it's multiple times now the ACA has contested this event in the fall. Things are usually pretty consistent. Water level maybe varies a little bit, but otherwise pretty textbook, late summer, early fall pattern set up there at Kentucky Lake right now. Kind of give us an insight into what the lake's shaping up.
Yeah, man, the lake right now, the water level is lower than what it should be, but with all this rain moving in, it's going to snap these fish up shallow. There is going to be one heck of a topwater bite to be had. It should be fun.
Yeah, I've been watching the weather as we get ready to head that way, and saw there was a forecast projected rain here coming up. Not sure if it's impacted by the storm that's moving on shore from the Gulf, but there's going to be some rain the next couple of days up there. Definitely that fishery, we've seen it throughout the years. Huge watershed. Any rain that happens north of the lake makes it all back down into Kentucky Lake at some point along the Tennessee River and that whole chain. So be on the lookout for some of that runoff to affect the way the lake's setting up. It sounds like. Adrian, yourself here, what are your thoughts in terms of where the fish are currently positioned? Are they still out deep? Down here in Texas, it's hard for me to say what it's like anywhere else because we're still having 100-degree days in September. But tell us what things are setting up like there, and have the fish started to move at all?
Yeah, so we don't got that Texas heat here, but we got a couple 90-degree days, and this little cold front moving in. I mean, it's kind of spread out a little bit everywhere, but I feel like the fish that are probably going to be most conducive to biting are probably the ones that are less than 10 foot right now.
Yeah, we'll talk about the bite in a little bit, but the Kentucky Lake, for me, sets up really well for anglers coming from anywhere that want to catch fish in a variety of different ways. If you want to go up shallow, it's there. If you want to fish out deep, there's fish that set up there. And you see anglers kind of in that in-between every year when we go, setting up, catching bass any which way they please, really targeting their strengths in this event. Also, we'll talk about the format in a little bit. You're just looking for one bite, so you got to run across that one good one, and those bass will set up anywhere across Kentucky Lake. Braiden, what are you looking for right now in terms of cover, or is it more bait fish oriented when you go out there through practice and tournament competition?
I mean, really, you can do just about anything, especially with live scope nowadays. You can have guys going from chasing bait to, oh, there's a brush pile right there, go ahead and throw right in it. So yeah, there's fish on everything, and Kentucky Lake's the perfect place to have this event. It's just a massive fishery with anything you could think of to do. You can do it, lay downs, brush piles, stake beds, whatever you want. There's fish to be caught, and there's some big ones.
Let's keep talking a little bit more about baits, techniques, the way the lake sets up, and what these fish are targeting. Archer, I'm going to send the next question your way here. As you go through pre-fishing and practice on into the tournament day, is there any specific lineup of baits that you might be looking to have tied on, whether that be soft plastics? You want to cover a lot of water, so you've got crankbaits and topwaters you can reel. Kind of break us down a little bit of maybe what you might have laid out on the deck of your boat in 3 or 4 key techniques.
Yeah, so when I'm going into this tournament, there's going to be 2 key baits I'm going to have. It's going to be the Berkley Chopper and the Berkley Cane. Really, I'm going to be covering as much water as I can. Like, I like to target the fish up shallow, and while there might not be many of them, they're big. So if I can get one of those bites, that can lead to a big payout.
That's the name of the game at the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley. Adrian, ask you a question here. One of your teammates last year, Harlan, won the event. Believe Murray State had several, possibly Braiden as well, anglers inside the top 10 of the overall tournament standings. At a tournament like this, big bass format, you've seen it play out year after year now as you're a veteran angler yourself in college. What type of strategy do you play into this, both in terms of the size and style of baits that you throw and the locations that you choose to fish? As there are 4 weigh-in sessions on the first day and 3 on the second, and you can weigh in 1 fish in each of those sessions. Do you play the long game and go look for that one big bite with one big bait, or do you stay close, come in 7 different sessions with possibly a winning fish, possibly an average class fish, but have more opportunity at winning prizes? Kind of talk about the baits and the locations you choose and strategy to claiming a prize.
Yeah. As It's weird to think about myself as a veteran angler, but the more and more I see it, the more and more bites you can get in a day. Yes, it can translate to a big one, but when you can really eliminate small ones when you go towards a bigger bait, like throwing that glide bait or whatnot. More or less, I'll probably just go for the big bite and just eliminate those little ones by doing something like that.
Braiden, yourself, as I mentioned there, asking that question to him, you had some success last year. Talk a little bit about what you did last year to catch those fish that earned you valuable prizes, and is that something that you'll copy this year? Or will you kind of throw out everything you know and start from scratch for 2024?
That's a great question. So basically what I did last year and years prior is you have to change your whole mindset when you're going into this tournament. Like, you're not trying to catch 5, and you're not necessarily trying to be on the most consistent fish, because those big ones, we all know they're not going to bite every single day, or they're not going to bite a lot. So you really have to go in targeting a specific bite, whether that be brush piles or stumps or what have you, if they're on top water, whatever. Say if I'm going with that top water, I'm going to pick a bigger than average, like a mega dog, or the biggest size chopo they make. Otherwise, just upsizing is probably one of the better ways to go. But on the other hand, if you're going to go and try to go in and win a bunch of prizes, then yeah, you want to be on that consistent type of fish. But I personally like to catch big fish, so that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to eliminate those possibilities to even have little ones even bite. So that's what we're hoping for.
Throughout the years, we're celebrating our 20th season here with the ACA. The organization's been coming to Kentucky Lake and Paris, Henry County for easily over 10 years now, I believe, and the Big Bass Bash being contested in the fall for about the 4th or 5th time. Murray State has won multiple times the fall Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley. Archer, talk a little bit about being located close to the lake. There's several schools there around the area, yourselves, Bethel being two of the closer ones. Talk about the local knowledge, the history, and how that plays a factor, if any, when you go out and compete in major national tournaments on what some may consider home waters for several of your anglers.
Yeah, man, I'm very blessed to be here at Murray State University, being located on Kentucky Lake. Like Braiden and Adrian have said, Kentucky Lake offers so much. You can go fish stumps down in, 20 to 10 foot of water, brush piles, ledges. I mean, the opportunity here is endless. Kentucky Lake, used to be the largemouth capital of the world, and it's definitely coming back. Like you said, we share it with Bethel, but it's not an issue. I don't know how long Kentucky Lake is. I think it's like 90 miles or something. But yeah, the water is endless, the opportunities are endless, and it's my favorite fishery, and I think almost every kid on the team would say it's their favorite fishery as well.
Adrian, Archer talked a little bit about the largemouth in Kentucky Lake, something we've seen play out over the last couple of years. Depending on the timing of the year, it can be more prevalent. Obviously, in the spring, the smallmouth bass show up like crazy, but they can be caught year-round. Talk a little about what you've seen with those smallmouth, the size of them, their willingness to bite, and do you think that a smallmouth is a possible prize-winning fish, as some of these sessions pay out the top 10 and others can pay out the top 20? If you target smallmouth, do you think that could be a factor in terms of maybe not winning the entire tournament, but being up there and taking home some good money?
Yeah, I say you're spot on with the taking home some good money, but finding the smallmouth over 5 pounds on this lake in fall is almost impossible. I'm not going to say it is, because there are multiple 6-pound smallmouth out here, but when it comes to winning the event, I mean, if it's not a largemouth, I'll be very surprised.
Braiden, in terms of the lake, anglers coming from out of town, it can be a little bit daunting, as we've talked to, the size of the fishery. Some years you hear of anglers running for hours to be able to fish for just an hour or two, heading up towards the tail race and making that run back to weigh in for one session, and they have success doing that. I'm not sure that that's produced the winning bite necessarily over the last several years, but all that to be said, that's a big, vast fishery and a lot of areas to be able to target and break down. For someone coming in, what is your advice in terms of, keep it simple, look for the key areas where you think they are in the fall? It can be overwhelming to go to a big fishery, whether you're familiar with it or not, and to start to break it down from scratch. talk a little bit about kind of a game plan or strategy that someone might be able to implement to find quick success at Kentucky Lake.
So if you're a freshman and this is your first bash, this is like your perfect opportunity, because pretty well there's a good chance you're coming back the following year, if not all 4 of your years, which there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, that's an advantage to you as a freshman. But basically what I would do is I would go and pick, before I even get there, pick a section of the lake that I want to fish in, because you can catch big ones just about anywhere on the lake. It's just about finding them. So just pick some section of the lake and devote all your time to that section of the lake, and you chunk around long enough, you might hook into a big one. But and then just repeat that. If you had success the following or the previous year, then go run that same section of the lake again. If not, you got like 100 miles more to go check. So just break it down. If you see something that you're comfortable and you've seen this before at your home lake, or you fish something similar, then don't be afraid to go do it. And if you do happen to stumble on something, this lake is such a pattern lake, it's not even funny. So if you find something in one section, just start looking in different sections for that same exact thing, and you'll be in a good spot at the end of the day.
We're talking with Archer Smith, Adrian Urso, and Braiden Koerber from top 25 ranked Murray State University, previewing Kentucky Lake for the upcoming Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley, hitting on different topics in terms of how the lake's setting up, format, strategy for the event. Archer, I'm kind of following that same vein here with this question. This Big Bass tournament, individual tournament for the anglers, so 3 anglers can be allowed, up to 3 anglers in each boat. For you guys at Murray State, we talked to different coaches, anglers, representatives from clubs all across the country, and some of the feedback that we get about this event is that they like the ability to be able to have 3 in the boat, because depending on how you distribute your anglers and your teams, sometimes there's guys and gals that in a 2-angler format don't have a home. They don't have a boat to fish out of. So adding that third gives them, maybe there's a freshman that doesn't have a boat and they can come fish in their first college tournament where they might not be able to fish the rest of the season depending on availability for back seats. Talk a little about how y'all strategize at Murray State to fill that third spot, and is it something that y'all, see beneficial or enjoy being able to implement in a Big Bass style tournament like this?
Yeah, man. So, like I said earlier, I'm going for that top order bite. I'm going for the bars. I am fishing 3 to a boat this year. Like you said, it's not very common you can go fish a bass tournament with 3 people in the boat. So, you're able to cover a whole lot more water, a whole lot faster. And on top of that, it's just fun. You have 2 more of your teammates in the boat. And I don't know it's just a blast being able to go out there with your buddies for 8 hours and try to catch a big old bass.
Adrian, another question for you, kind of more in following in line with the strategy and the way this tournament's formatted. 4 sessions on day 1, 3 sessions on day 2. So paying out the top 10 in all but one. That one other session is going to pay out the top 20. Different prizes, different payouts, you name it. When y'all go out and compete in a tournament like this, the Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley, are you motivated at all? Let's say you have a big bass. Are you motivated at all by the prizes, the timing of the day that you take it in? Sometimes you may think in your head, hey, early in the morning could be a little more difficult. People have ran off. They're not coming back. Maybe there's a fish that isn't going to win the tournament, but it could win this first session. And if I wait later in the day, it might place 5th or 6th as more big fish come in. Kind of talk about how you're motivated in terms of the timing of the day to bring in a big bass, or possibly even the payout of that particular session.
Yeah, say that if I do have the opportunity to have a big bass, it can be very lucrative depending on what time you come in. Like I say, I'm pretty sure there's a garden hour, there's like a jack plate hour. So not that you're messing up if you go in the wrong hour, but yeah, I'll definitely be paying attention, and hopefully I'm not tell everyone else too, but yeah, no, I'm gonna try to bring it in when I feel like I can make the most money.
Definitely a good strategy there going into it. One more question about the tournament, and then we'll talk about School of the Year and let you guys get back to it. Braiden, here, as a team going into this event, we'll talk about the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia in a moment. But when you're at an event like last year, per se, you see Harlan come in and bring in a big bass and take the overall lead, and yourself also, you come in and do well, and I believe y'all weighed those fish in the same session on day one possibly. What's it like at a major national event? Because this being a big bass format tournament, there's weigh-ins throughout the day. It's not everybody comes in and we weigh in over a 2-hour span at the end of the afternoon and that's it and we go home. You can see how your teammates are doing through the first session, through the second session, or even see them weigh in that final. What's it like to be able to see your team have success throughout the day and yourself contributing to it, but seeing someone like you did last year in Harlan take the first place and what ended up ultimately being the victory, being able to witness that and see it play out real time at the event. Talk about that a little bit.
So overall, when you see our teammates doing good in the tournament, it's a big morale booster. In my case, I came in and I was leading, and then Harlan came and took the lead from me. That was a little heartbreaking, but other than that, it's just a big morale booster because like we have a bunch of guys that know how to catch fish, and just seeing them pop up on the leaderboard throughout the day, there's nothing better than that. Like, we know we can fish, and we just went out and proved it, and we're showing it to everybody on the team real time. And it's just really cool.
Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Next topic we're going to talk about the Bass Pro Shop's Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley will be an ACA double points tournament. So a lot of valuable points on the line. We're going to see quite a few shakeups. Just dropped the first standings here coming up. So leading into this tournament, we've got an idea of what the national standings look like. And then again, coming out of it, we'll update those points. Archer, real quick. Last season, you guys are coming off a top 10. Murray State, one of those schools out there that's been around, been involved in college fishing for a long time, but has yet to claim the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Talk about this season, the team's goal in that quest to be able to claim that first title.
Yeah, man. Our end goal at the end of the year is to win School of the Year. We have been chasing it. I would love to see it before I graduate. And I know all the alumni that have attended Murray State would love us to win that. I know last year, us as a team, we won the Bash, being the two highest finishing schools. And then I believe we also won Darnell as the top finishing school collectively. So if we can do that again, that would give us a great chance to, further our chances into leading School of the Year. And overall, it would just be amazing,
Adrian, Murray State picked inside the top 20 for the ACA preseason poll coming into this year. As Archer was talking about, being able to get off to a hot start, something he did last season. As we're getting going here, same schedule pretty much. We're going to have the Bass Pro Shop's Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley. Just a few weeks after that, the AFCO Collegiate Bass Open at Lake Darnell. A good amount of points here on the line to be able to kind of define your season going forward here at the very beginning. Talk about the importance of a hot start and how that can set y'all up for success. While it may not seem like a big deal right now because the finish line's so far away into next year, but each bass along the way these points are structured means something. And one missed fish or one boated fish here right now in September could be the difference in y'all claiming your first title or not.
100%. I mean, if we could have our team weighing 2 6-pounders in this double points event, we'll have a great foundation for this season and just going in for the AOI or that Team of the Year points. And I feel like that's almost everyone's goal on the team. And I know it's going to be hard to do, but we're going to try.
Braiden, last question. We'll just keep building here on the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia Talk. As we said, Murray State's chasing that first title. Archer gave his insight a little bit, but for yourself as well, I know most of you guys have been around for a good while, yourself included. Seeing the growth of the team, the growth of college fishing over that time as well, the competition that's taking place, the race being tighter than ever. This season, if Murray State does finish the year ranked number 1, what would the emotions be like in terms of both your personal, the team goals, and the university?
Oh, it would be indescribable. We've been close all 4 years. This is my senior year. I'll actually be graduating in December. So, just even though I'm gone, if I look on my Instagram and see that Murray State Bass won the School of the Year, I'll still just be just as ecstatic as I was if I was still there. Like I said, we've been close before, and just even being within reach of it is beyond imagination for me, and it would just be indescribable.
Guys, thanks for the time today. That's our conversation with Archer Smith, Adrian Urso, and Braiden Koerber from top 25 ranked Murray State University, located there near Kentucky Lake. The playing field for the upcoming Bass Pro Shops Big Bass Bash presented by Berkley set to take place this weekend. Guys, thanks for the time, and we'll see you all over at the lake here in just a couple short days.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's had. Yeah, throw me in a Ned BLT too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down, quit feeding him so much.
Hey, man, I'm trying to, man. If you
If you overfeed him, he's gonna hide under a log.